I serve you, your grace?
What role might you play in my government?
If there's one thing I know, it is matters of faith, whether it is my own god or some other deity. If you appoint me as high priest, I'd be able to do much good. On the other hand, politics or questions of trade, I know little of such things.
You see a stout man sitting in well-worn armour. His face is framed with silvery stubble, and his fleshly nose is red and pock-marked. He radiates perfect calm. As you approach, he bows. Hyland, your grace, captain of the city guard. Delia, assistant to the captain, happy to serve you. I don't remember hiring a guard captain, or any guards for that matter. I came here from Restov with a dozen of my best guards. By order of Lady... Don't you worry, your grace, we are now the subjects of your barony. We've sworn to serve you faithfully and loyally. You can count on us. Besides, we draw our salary from your nice guy. Of course, every one of us is ready to die, but there's still some work to be done when it comes to discipline. You know that dwarven offer, Baldric Sebris? No, I really don't know. My boneheads used to read his books about guard's duty right on guard duty. I'll have to teach them a lesson too. The guards have everything they need. There are sufficient munitions to supplies, the salary is fair, we have enough to buy toys for the kids and a jug of beer when the shift is done. Of course, the town is growing and it would be nice to expand the ranks, but we can manage on ourselves. Regarding my whole life, I started a snot-nosed runt in the night watch. Restov is famous for its fencing schools. Young people from all over river kingdoms come to study here. It seems every other person has a sword, and every third thinks they know how to use it better than all the rest. A misspoken word or drunken fight can quickly lead to a stabbing rampage. Stabby tabby! That's why there are many guards in the city, and they don't accept just anyone. Took note of my achievements and marked me for advancements. Why I'm here. Delia, I found her on the street about a decade ago. I remember vividly a tiny dwarf girl sitting on the temple steps. Dirty face, barefoot, feeding a piece of bread to a stray cat. I saw her and my heart missed a beat. The captain looks away. Where she's from, who left her alone and why, only Esterol knows. As she grew, I tried to send her to learn a craft. But who can talk sense into a dwarf? She wanted to be a guard. That's that. And now I'm teaching her myself. Usually I want to see this dwarven wounds. Why open up old wounds? I'm not sure. It was will likely bring nothing but pain. I suspect I will regret going to ruins, but nevertheless I asked. Please take me with you there. Cool.
Onwards.
How do you like it in my party? I think it's grand. You have a fine gang of lunatics here. I myself am no noble from high society, but seriously, Octavia and I never ever dreamed of a leader like you. We imagined we sit in the woods and rob wagons, maybe join a band of mercenaries. We never ever expected to become the henchman of a local ruler. Not to mention such a pretty one. Yeah, keep your compliments to yourself, please. I don't know. A tense silence hangs over the house. Your tiefling find emerges from the shadows, but her eyes are staring to the distance. She seems to look right past you. No, not now. The turmoil is suddenly over, but you see fear in Kissie's eyes. Blue eyes. It's you. I wanted to say You owe me an explanation. The girl closes her eyes and clenches her fist. Obviously in the grip of a strong emotion, but one you cannot root. I know it couldn't last forever. Why did he? Why did he even make this rule? If he knew it would be impossible to keep. She takes a deep breath, opens her eyes and speaks with a firm resolve. Come what may, you should know. that the person you know by the name of Cassie does not exist. My real name is Kaliki, and well, it's a long story, and such stories are better told beside a welcoming fire. Yeah, sure. She rests her head on her arm and stares off into the distance. Stories by the fire, in the desert where I was born. My fondest memory, when the day is done. Hosts and guests, parents and children, friends and rivals, all gathered by the fire under the stars to tell their tales. All they did, all they witnessed, all they heard from other travellers, and the whispers carried by the desert wind. My sister and I often stuck into hear those stories, hiding in the shadows just beyond the circle of light and warmth. We are hellspawn, you see. Tieflings are unwelcome guests in Quadria, unblessed by the light of merciful Sinere. We grew up sleeping in a common tent, scavenging food here and there like orphans, but all but outcast and disowned. We were 13 when we left and set off to find happiness in the cities, and everyone we left behind sighed for freedom. My sister and I, we are twins, but as different as the sun and moon. Her name is Kanara, which means silent flame. She is fire, a cold fire, but one that turns everything to ash. I am a river. It brings me joy to give water to tired travellers and nurture green shoots. But when I flood, I am bound to bring death. The girl's eyes are full of sorrow. Despite our differences, we are one. Our lives belong to divine Natus, and by his mercy, we now live in turns. While one of us is here, the other sleeps in another plane, and when she wakes up, we switch places, just as you just witnessed. This is why you didn't remember when we were talking to Jamandi. How could I remember you? I never met you at the time. That was Kanara. She was the one who talked to you at the reception and helped you fight off the assassins. We usually write each other notes recounting the details of all that happened and describing any friends that Cassie had made. But that time we switched right in the middle of a mansion engulfed in fire and filled with assassins. Kanara didn't have the time to write any notes. And how is it to begin to live in turns? The lores ahead. This story is one I never told to anyone before. No one in the whole world. And it's not easy to confide in a stranger. There's too much grief and guilt in it. If you don't mind, I'd rather not go into all the details. You see, my sister died, and I couldn't get over it. Kanara was killed by a Solta, a monster summoned by secret followers of Abaddon archdemons. Those who summoned him died in the fight, but the beast was too strong for my sister, and I wasn't even there to protect it. We just had to fight, and we both did some stupid things just before, but I don't want to talk about it right now. When I found out what happened to my sister, I was ready to make a deal with any power, if only I could just get her back. And I found such a power. I was contacted by the ThomFnG, the herald of the god Nithis himself. She promised she would return Kanara to life, but on two conditions. First, we must keep both the arrangement a secret. Well, yeah, not done that anymore. Secondly, we would never be able to meet again, and so our new life began. Now we flee through the world, guarding our secrets, always introducing ourselves as Kaisi, to hide that there are two of us. So okay, now I get it, okay. And we switch places with each other at random. While one lives, the other sleeps in demi-planes one's created specifically for us. Can't control it? We can't. They happen at random. Most often while we're sleeping, but sometimes in broad daylight. That's why we can never stay in one place for long. When someone witnesses our switch, we usually tell them tales of a special magical way of travelling, but people start noticing strange things and begin to figure things out. Truth be told, I am so tired of having to pretend. We knew this couldn't last forever, and now the truth is finally out. Yeah. You revealed your secret to me, it means you broke one of the first rules, yeah. Okay, what can I do to help? That's certainly what I wanted to talk to you about. Kirina was supposed to tell you of an ancient treasury that we've been looking for. Yes, you did actually. Gold is the only thing of value in this place. It may contain an ancient relic, taken by the Taldan raiders from a respected Quadrian temple in Nidus. It's an unusual relic called the Disc of the Eclipse. I once heard a beautiful story that it was created from the shadow that hides the sun and the moons. But I don't think that could be the truth. No, of course it's not. Nihilus is the god of magic who was once a mortal wizard, and relics from his temples are usually very powerful. There are many among his followers who think that solving the mysteries of magic, even rivaling their deity, is the best way to serve him. One such follower created a disc long ago in the distant past. According to legend, it gave his owner control over planar travel, but only pairs of wizards bound by unbreakable ties could use it. While one of them travelled the planes, the other was his anchor to other worlds, and they could switch between. Do you see now why we so desperately wish to find it? Yes, I certainly do. It would help us understand how the switch between me and Kirina works, and it should make our divine patron happy. Nihilus and his assistants value the desire to understand the mysteriousness of magic above all else. And how does this come to be in the Stolen Lands? It was brought here by Taldus from the 5th Army of Exploration. Taldor and Quadria were enemies for ages. Thousands of years ago, a soldier broke into the temple of Nihilus and stole the relic to sell it or secretly hoard it as an heirloom. Hundreds of years later, his own kin, or the kin of his 100th buyer, brought the disc to those strange lands where the Taldans had come. Uninvited, as usual, which they finally vanished from the little trace. Sometimes history is an intricate lace. You never guess where it begins, where it ends. Locations called Sorrowfall in the Chronicle we read. It was once a Taldan town, founded by the veterans of the 5th Army of Exploration. It stood on the shores of a turbulent river, and that was what destroyed it. One night, a terrible flood devastated the settlement, killing many and driving the rest to flee. Only the tower of the cliff remained, for it was too high for the flood to reach. Water covered the ruins for a long time, but last year it receded. My friends found a chronicle which recounted the destruction of the city, and spoke of the disc of the eclipse which was kept there. We managed to track down the ruins, but were frightened away by the monster and beasts that roam the area. If this can help, then I agree. Thank you. I will wait for you there at Sorrowful, and please, let's explore the ruins together, just the two of us. I don't want to give myself away again in front of your companions. Breaking their accompanist's conditions once was enough. I have no wish to anger our god. Oh. Ah, very lovely that. What a lovely piece of music as well. It really suited that dynamic there.
No stopping now.
Behind the inn's bar stands a young woman with curly red hair, a round face and rosy cheeks. She gives you a friendly smile. Nice of you to stop by. I'm Elina, the innkeeper. Where are you from? What land? I hail from River Kingdoms. Artum, to be precise. I am from a farming family, like just about everybody from around here. There are more fertile land and pasture there than anywhere else in River Kingdoms, except for maybe seven arches. The folks who grow crops and tend cattle are well respected there, but at the same time they live in constant danger. There's too many bad people, too lazy to work at all, they don't mind taking other people's sides. Why did you decide to become an innkeeper? I was bored. Please don't get me wrong. I was fine at Father's farm, and I got nothing but respect for farmers' work. But in our back country, you could go half a year without seeing one new face. No news, nothing happening. I've dreamed of working at an inn since I was a child. It's the kind of place where there's always a lot of guests and stories. Oh, don't ask. It's too funny. I kept thinking about what name to pick, choosing just the right one, but not one to waste time. I drew a beer mug on the door. I figured folk would just see it then come in. So the locals got used to calling this place the beer mug and the name stuck. A month wouldn't be long enough to tell it all. Your Grace, each kingdom is a special place of its own. Elves live in one of them. Another one, half of the country belongs to the Murderers Guild, and the other half gives them their orders. They say that they even get local discounts. Just the one thing that unites us all, like a strong thread keeps the cult together. It's the 6 River Freedoms. Yes, say what you will, I live free. It doesn't mean you won't be beaten up for what you say though. The second freedom, well, if you can call it freedom, oath breakers die. Those who break oaths gets killed just like that. So people prefer not to making any oaths at all. The third, walk any road, float any river. Once the ruler of Hybar decided to build a gate across the river and collect a fee from each passing boat. Well, there's no more hellbar. The fourth freedom is even worse than the second one. Courts are for kings. Wherever the king says goes. Well, as long as he doesn't say to build a gate across a river. Hey. Now the fifth, slavery is an abomination. Nothing to explain there. Certainly true. Runaway slaves from all over come to us for a reason. Now 6, you have what you hold. It means that theft is a much worse crime than robbery. If you catch my drift, you can honestly beat a robber and keep what's yours, but a thief acts on the quiet. Shame on him. That's just disrespectful. You're a local baron now, right? Congratulations. The Stag Lord was a real bastard. It's a good thing you killed him. Sometimes justice still triumphs, right? For what it's worth, I've decided to move to the capital. Living in Oleg is horribly boring, and here, look around. I can feel the river lovely. Dealt with the Stag Lord, so I'll tell you my story. I hope it will make you think twice about looking for any more trouble. We were attacked by the undead. Skeletons, Sawbones, but that wasn't the worst. What filled me with terror was the invisible dark entity crawling among the stones. This thing was driving us crazy, literally. Jackson rushed to a stone statue and beat it until he broke all his fingers. After that, there wasn't much use for his magic wand, though the poor fellow never gave up trying to help us. Barberton fell behind when we began our retreat. The last thing I saw, he was squatting over a heap of carrion, gorging himself, and sobbing like a newborn all the while. I swear by Parisma, Outtro called to his god, and a ray of light shone, sending the vile creature running. I almost believed for a moment that we had a chance. She catches her breath, starts to talk faster. That part was the worst. It seemed like we could get out if we could just make it a little further, and then the zombies overwhelmed us. Outtro, like a tidal wave, Ghostray lost her mind. She scrambled up the staircase, whispering the words of a children's song and screaming in terror. She jumped from the tower to escape whatever ghost was tormenting her. A fall maimed her, but she survived, and after all this I was alone. The darkness closed in over. When I came to my senses, we were all in cages, all of us except Ferment. He was free, unscratched, and extremely pleased with himself, and the undead were under his command. That bastard betrayed us. From the very beginning, he decided to keep those damn books for himself. Adristan wasn't his friend, but his competitor. Belmont staged his death and went to find books while we fought off the undead. He used us as fodder, and those who survived were to become sacrifices for his ritual. We were betrayed by the one who trusted the most. How did you escape? Doesn't matter how, all that matters is that I put the Pathfinder's life behind me and for all. Alright, come back for that one then. Alright. Can a mortal become a god? The very idea blasphemy. Science relies on experience, where there may be evidence presented in support. But when science encounters theology, it recoils. The term evolution has no application to the divine spark that illumines dull matter in incomprehensible ways. An foremost example is angels, to whom we owe the existence of our virtuous mortal souls, which brings us to a paradox. A mortal soul transforms into an immortal essence. There are many such breathtaking events, with each promise a connection to the divine. Sunny Cinema is perfect proof of this. Starstone Trial desecrated divinity, turned it into a god's exam, where any trickster with a handful of spells who can avoid some traps in a deadly maze may rise to divinity. Is the nature of divinity then so sacred indeed? How would you like to become part of my court, Alchemist? Court? Yeah, that'd be the first. Right, come what may, you've been kind to me. Killed those damn spiders and brought an old man some berries. I'll work for you. Just one thing though. I need a new laboratory, something to keep all my bottles and ingredients. A workshop, yes. And as for me, don't you worry, I'll do my part. Easy enough.
Don't you think?
Overgrown. A group of hardy people with axes, mostly likely lumberjacks, are menacing a fragile Nixie. Two lumberjacks stand before her, relaxed and disconnected. The lead lumberjack shakes his fist at the Nixie and yells, "Let them go, you swamp freak! If you don't, I'll burn this rotten grove to the ground." You're the freaks, and my name is Milance. Thank you very much. If you keep being rude like this, I'll just drown those jumbos in the lake. Noticing you, the lead lumberjack grins and waves. You there? You seem a capable sort, interested in some coin. Name's Korax, and we're loggers here in this forest. We could use your help in freeing our people from the Gorgon's claws. We were minding our own business, cutting trees and splitting logs when this hag shows up out of nowhere, screeches at us, then jinxes two of ours and threatens to drown them. With these fey breeding like rabbits everywhere, what's an honest, hard-working man to do? Stupid Jumbo, you're the ones who breed like rabbits, spreading into more and more space. We've lived here since forever. I've grown these trees for more than 100 years, blow them down to the tiniest leaf, and then you show up on your stupid axes and ruin everything. Wiggling my fingers. Alright. It's not like we're dead set on this grove in the first place. If you gives us back our people, we'll leave this place in peace. On my word. Oh sure, and who's going to bring back my trees then? They come in here, smash everything in sight, and then just leave. No deal, fix what you broke, then maybe I'll let you go. How are we supposed to restore the trees that's already been cut? The humans are always like this. Destroy. And then when it's time to clean up your mess, poof, gone. Fine, since you're clearly clueless, I'll tell you. Well, that's what I'm asking. There are these magic thingies that look like little feathers. The feather tokens. Roll one on the ground, anywhere, and a tree springs up. Your people's mages who trade the swamps more often than others, and you make them. Buying a couple won't break your bank. My cousin Tricia can also make them. She lives in the Nile marshes. Either way, you bring a handful of them back here, and I'll let your goons go. I'll bring the feathers. Is that a question? Okay.
We can do it!
Let us strike as one!
Strike with all your might!
Yep.
Can you make it
could be good.
I need inspiration.
Tear them apart! Do not falter!
I'll fight if I have to.
Onwards! They go
We
down!
won't falter!
Can it be the end? Survive. I always survive.
Oh, don't fucking
Serves
attack.
you right.
Let us strike as one!
Your life drops low. What a
Do
waste.
not falter!
Become as dust. Repent.
You can't stop me. You deserve it.
Oh, so I've got it. Okay. Yeah, I've got to poison them. Ah! Super duper special attack!
Onwards! Stay behind me!
Consider me provoked.
Ah! Let us strike as one! Do not falter!
I'm wondering why I wasn't killing them. You've helped. Cool. Really. On the Watchtower.